So we're back here on June 10th of 2020. We're going to set up our builder for our first attempt to do some queen rearing. The box back there that has the smoker on it is an overwintered nuke that just isn't building up very quickly, so we're not going to get any honey off of it. So we're going to try to get some profit out of it by having it raise queens. What we're going to do is go in, find the queen and 2 frames of brood, split that off into a nuke, and then we'll go through the top box and shake all the bees down into the lower box, take those frames of comb, set them over onto a swarm that we have over here, and then we'll set our graft frames in to let the bees polish them. And we're going to come back in 2 days, do the graft. We're going to graft 90 queens, and hopefully we'll get 30 out of it. This is our first attempt doing it. We don't know what to expect. We're just going to overestimate, hopefully get what we need. It should be a fairly straightforward process, but it's a learning curve for us, so let's see how we do. Okay, so this is our builder setup. We have frames of honey on either end. We have a frame of pollen here that we pulled from a 3rd colony. We have our 2 graft frames here with 45 cells on them apiece, and then the rest of these are either brood or pollen. Mostly cap brood. Mostly cap brood though. We're going to shake the 2nd box, the top box of bees, down into the bottom box, and that's going to be our builder. Trying to get the box as packed with bees as we possibly can. We'll give it a few minutes here, and then we'll open it up and see how many bees it actually looks like. We may end up shaking a few more frames of nurse bees from this colony into it. We'll see. That's a pretty packed box of bees, bud. And we can stick a couple more frames in, but that's pretty solid, I'd say. Well, you're looking there. Oh, you can see the lid is pretty well covered. We did find the queen, and we shifted her and 2 frames of brood and some bees over into a nuke colony, so she's good to go. I say we're not getting anything off of that. Let's get 1 frame of nurse bees from another one and shake it in front. Sounds like a plan. I'd rather overdo it than underdo it. Okay, so we're back here 2 days later after we built the builder. Today's the day we're going to be doing our grafting. First things first, we're going to go through the builder and shake every frame of bees, get all the bees off of it, and check thoroughly for any emergency queen cells that they started. We need to make sure we get those destroyed, or this whole grafting process is for nothing. So we're going to go through the builder, destroy all the queen cells we find, and there will be some. And then we'll take the grafting frames out, grab some frames from hives that we like that have newly hatched eggs on them, very, very small larvae, and start grafting those larvae into the graft frames that we have. And then when we're finished, we'll put it back in the builder, put some sugar syrup on top of the builder so they think there's a nice good nectar flow on, and then we'll wait a couple days and see if they show up. So we'll bring you along today and go through the builder and show you how we do our different processes. Okay, so we're planning to pull brood from 3 different colonies today. Just want to keep our bloodlines a little bit diverse. Don't bottleneck down into 1 hive to start with already. So while Sean's going through the builder here to kill all of the queen cells, I'm going to go through the 3 hives that we've chosen to be our breeder queens. I'm going to pull out a frame of brood. We're going to stick that into this little 4-frame nuke box with all the bees on it to start with. Then when we're ready to graft, we'll brush all the bees off in front of their corresponding hives and then go back and graft. So that's the plan. And we're just looking very carefully a couple times to make sure there's not a single queen cell missed here. We're even going to destroy all the queen cups we see. A queen cell is a queen cup that has an egg in it. We're just going to destroy everything so there's no chance that we miss one. All I'm really doing is going in here and finding a brood frame. I know these bees are only rearing brood on roughly these 4 frames. I'm just going to grab one of them and check. Try to find one that has eggs and really tiny young larvae. Okay, we'll cover up most of the frame here. Keep it humid and only uncover what I'm working on. Make sure I avoid any drone brood. Didn't get that one. Look right through the frame on that one. New strategy. Ooh, that was perfect. Sean, you want to hold the frame here? Give me another tool. I grafted on the wrong side or bent it over. Is that one good to go then? No, it was on the wrong side of the tool. I couldn't get it off.
Yep.
And we're not going to show it too much. We didn't video the grafting process too much because we were trying to get done quickly. Because you don't want the queen, you don't want the larva to desiccate. That is what our grafting frames look like. 15 on a rack, 3 racks, 2 grafting frames, 45 or 90 queens. We're hoping for at least 30, but we'll see how we did in a couple days when we come back to check acceptance. One of the critical aspects of getting builders to raise queens is making sure they have sufficient nutrition and having a nectar flow on, or tricking them into thinking there's a nectar flow on. So this is 1 gallon of 1-to-1 sugar syrup, which I'm going to set on top of the hole in the inner cover, which should trick them into thinking that there's a solid nectar flow going on, which we actually already have a good nectar flow going on, but this is just going to really push it over the top. Let it drip and get vacuumed, and set it in. Usually you just use 1 deep, but these 1 gallon jars are a little bit taller than a single deep, so we use 2 mediums. And that's it. So we're back here on Sunday, 2 days after we grafted. We're gonna go in and check acceptance on the queen cells that we put in. We have no idea what to expect, never done that before. We're hopeful but very nervous about this. We'll check it out together. Okay, moment of truth here. See, 1, 2. We got them at that top bar.
Middle bar looks good.
The middle bar looks great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 out of 15 on that middle bar. Bottom bar we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Top bar we got like
2 or 3.
No, a little more than that actually. It's not quite as much food in some of them. Looks like it's about 1,
So what's the total count on that one?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What was it, 14 on the middle one,
That's
right?
23.
And the bottom one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think. So 18.
14 plus 9 plus 9 is 32 already. 32 out of 45 on that frame.
See, we on the second bar. Check that was big on out.
The middle bar was big on.
And the bottom was big on.
Ooh, that one's even better.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Looks like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
63 out of 90. 2/3.
I'm
Very happy with
very
that.
happy with that. It gives us more than enough to play with. Well, that's the end. That'll be the end of this particular video of our grafting, building the cell builder, grafting, and then our acceptance. We did a lot better than we thought we were going to with we believe 63 out of the 90 accepted. So we got plenty of wiggle room as far as the queens that we're going to do. We're planning on doing our splitting next week, which will have a video of itself to demonstrate our process for doing that. And yeah, look forward to seeing you there.